Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV and welcome to another edition of Player Ratings. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here, and as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And Chelsea rounded out their pre-season tour of America with a 2-1 defeat against Real Madrid, meaning it was just one win in 5 games on the tour, with one game remaining against Inter Milan at Stamford Bridge this week. And let's dive straight into it, guys. Obviously, there were a few changes from the team that lost against Manchester City. We had Philip Jorgensen coming in for his first start. Moises Caicedo dropped out. Raheem Sterling started again. We obviously had Noni Madueke starting as well. Mark Guiu returned through the middle also. But let's dive straight into it, guys. Starting with Philip Jorgensen in goal. First start for him in blue. Obviously he's hoping to become the club's #1 this season. I thought he did okay. There were some good moments of distribution, made a couple of good saves. He was not helped by the defence, and I felt he could have done better with that second goal when Brahim Diaz took it round him. So all in all, pretty solid. To start with, some good stuff. Some things that need improving. But yeah, I think he'll get better over time. And I'm sure at some point in this season, he will be the first choice goalkeeper. So I'll probably give him a 6 out of 10. I thought he was half decent, to be perfectly honest. Some good things, but also some things that need a little bit of work, as you would expect, of course. Moving into the back line then, Reece James. I felt Vinicius Jr. gave him a tough time, particularly in that sort of opening 20 minutes. He was lucky not to give a penalty away when he challenged from behind. Obviously, no shame, but Vinicius did get the better of him in the majority of the 1v1s. But this was an okay game from Reece. I'm surprised that he played so many minutes. I know we're trying to get him minutes and get him fit and match sharp or whatever, but given he's missing the first 3 games of the season, I thought Maresca might have experimented in this game without him from the off to see like how he set up and to see what it would be like. But obviously he's maybe going to plan to do that against Inter Milan instead. But I thought Reece was kind of just average, recovered well from a poorish start to the game. I'd give him a 5 out of 10. Let's move on to Benoit Badiashile. What has happened to this guy, by the way? Was his injury really this bad? Because he looks a complete shadow of himself. Lazy defending for both goals, really. Madrid just, got in so easily behind on that first goal. The second goal, it was lazy defending from him as well. He had to chase back several balls in behind as, our high line was constantly exposed by just one pass. And, Madrid just got in behind with their quick players, Vinicius, Rodrigo's, Brahim Diaz's and whatnot. I thought this was poor from Badiashile. I'll be dead straight. I thought he was dreadful. I really don't know what's happened to him, and let's hope that he can sort of rediscover some of his form, because this was a poor performance from him. I'll give him a 3 out of 10. Moving on to Levi Colwill, who, let's be honest, wasn't much better. Made a number of mistakes. Lazy defending again when retreating as Real Madrid opened the scoring. And similar to Badiashile, he was constantly beaten by just one ball in behind. So, I do not like Colwill defending wide areas. I don't want to see him anywhere near that left-back channel. I just want to see him play in the centre of defence. But this was a poor performance from Levi as well. If I gave Benoit Badiashile a 3, Colwell's not much better, maybe a 3.5. But I thought the pair of them were really, really poor in this game. Moving on to Malo Gusto. I thought he was okay in this game. I thought he was the best of the Chelsea backline for sure. There was a slight worry when he went to ground on a couple of occasions, seemingly in pain, but he was fine to play on. He played Sterling in behind on a couple of occasions after he inverted, but those passes weren't rewarded with a goal, unfortunately. But he looked assured. He played reasonably well, and he's definitely one of the big pluses from this pre-season tour. So I'd give Gusto a 6 out of 10. Moving into midfield then, Romeo Lavia, one of only 3 players to start all 5 of the friendlies. I think Reece James and Nkunku the only others. And he barely featured in the last campaign because of injury. So this is a big plus for him to get all these minutes under his belt and come through unscathed. He's been one of the standout performers of pre-season, and he's definitely improved with each performance. He's looked more and more composed in that deep playmaker role. And I thought he was good again last night. And I'll probably give him a 6.5. I think he deserves to start the first game of the season. You know, you can see what he brings to this team and what we missed last season when he wasn't playing. So yeah, for me, I'd give Lavia a 6.5 out of 10. Moving on to Enzo Fernandez. He was playing in one of those more advanced number 8 positions. And, you know, he is a brilliant cross to the back stick for Madueke's header to get us back in the game. You know, he picked up the pockets of space quite well to receive the ball. He's still getting up to speed, still getting minutes in the legs. Nothing special, nothing awful. I think just an all-round okay performance from him. And obviously, he took the captain's armband, maybe quite tellingly, after Reece James was substituted. So I wonder if Enzo will captain the team against Manchester City. Let's wait and see. But look, things to improve on. I'll probably give him a 6 out of 10 in my view. Moving on to the front three then, guys. We had Noni Madueke, again, another goal from him, which is pleasing to see. Obviously, he was on the receiving end of a textbook hefty challenge from Rudiger. Obviously, he missed the memo that it was a pre-season game. But yeah, took the goal well from the Enzo cross. Looked a threat down that right-hand side. But again, wasteful and poor end product on numerous occasions, which needs to be improved upon. But I thought, you know, he's someone that comes out of this pre-season tour with a tick next to his name. You know, it's gone really well for him, and he's one of the players that has stood out despite those inconsistencies and despite the frustrations with his poor end product on occasions. But I thought this was a positive display from Madueke, so I'd give him a 7 out of 10 on this one. Moving on to Christopher Nkunku. Most importantly, guys, he's come through the pre-season tour not injured, which wasn't the case last season. You know, he could have equalised, in fairness, at the beginning of the second half. You know, there's a good opportunity for him there. He's got 3 goals on this tour, which I think is a good return. And he was a constant threat, you know, and I really like him in that deeper number 8 position. It's going to be really interesting to see where Maresca uses him once the season begins, because he's got that versatility to play in a number of roles, and he looks really good in that deeper, advanced number 8 role. So I thought this was a good performance from Nkunku. I'd give him a 6.5 out of 10. Moving on to Raheem Sterling. If ever a game summed up Raheem Sterling, it was this one. You know, gets himself in good areas, does the hard stuff, and then the easy thing, he just messes it up. He had several opportunities to score, which is a good thing. But then a negative is he took none of them whatsoever. You know, he's overhitting passes, simple passes through the 6-yard box, you know, which found absolutely no one. And it just wasn't his day today. And I think this highlights that we do need to go in and get another winger. I thought this wasn't great from Sterling at all. I'll give him a 4.5 out of 10. Moving on to Mark Guiu then. Starting from the middle, we still don't know what's going to happen to him, whether he's going to go on loan or be part of the squad. I think the incoming arrival of Omorodion would maybe suggest that Guiu might be earmarked for a potential loan. He annoyed some of his teammates when he slowed one move down by passing it backwards in the first half, but he got more involved in the second half, and I think overall kind of a positive tour for him. You know, he's still raw and he's rough around the edges. He looks like he presses well. He's got that physicality and that strength. He's not afraid to put himself about for a young lad, which bodes well for the Premier League. So you need those characteristics. I thought this was an okay performance from Guiu. I'd give him a 5.5 out of 10. Now, moving on to the subs. Wasn't always, I mean, not difficult to give all these subs a rating, given a few of them came on late, but I'll definitely rate Mudryk and Caicedo because they played at least half an hour, whereas the others didn't play long enough to get a rating. So for Mudryk, yeah, again, inconsistent. You know, got in some good positions, did some good stuff. You know, does the hard stuff, and a little bit like Sterling, when it comes to the easier bit, he fluffs it. You know, he seems to lean back all too often when he's shooting and just skies efforts over the crossbar. And I think the performance of him and Sterling, you know, I think that they go down as frustrations for this pre-season tour. Their performances in general, I think, indicate that, as I said earlier, we need another wide player to come in. Who that's going to be and whether we're going to do it, I don't know. But I thought Mudryk was okay in his half hour or so that he played. But again, it's that end product that needs improvement, which is the case. And I find myself repeating myself, you know, which is the case for a number of these players. I'll probably give him a 5 for his performance. And then moving on to Moises Caicedo, again, getting some more minutes in the tank, which is important. You know, he looks tenacious in this game. He sat in alongside Enzo Fernandez. Obviously, he come on to replace Romeo Lavia. And it's important for him to just get some more minutes in the legs, build his fitness up, get that match sharpness ahead of the first game of the season, because he's going to be absolutely crucial to what we do this season. So I'd probably give him a 5.5 out of 10 for that performance. You know, nothing special, but didn't exactly do anything wrong or do anything dreadful either by those accounts. So yeah, I mean, that's the final player ratings, guys, for the pre-season tour. I guess results-wise, a disappointing tour. Some positives to take, certainly. Going forwards, we look good. On the ball, we look good. Out of possession, we look shambolic. And defensively, we look awful as well. So there's plenty of work to be done. I think the big winners from the pre-season tour are the likes of your Nkunkus, your Maduekes, and your Romeo Lavias. And I'd say the players that, you know, need improvement, the likes of your Sterlings and your Mudryks and the likes of Badiashile as well. I think those are guys probably the biggest frustration / disappointments of the tour. We've got a little bit. We've still got about how long have we got now? About not long, 11 days until the first game of the season. So hopefully get back to Cobham, do some work, get that defensive structure right, get that defensive shape right, and then hopefully we can see an improved performance against Inter, and you can go into the City game with some form of confidence that we aren't going to capitulate at the back. But yeah, guys, make sure you smash the likes, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Leave your thoughts in the comments below as always. I'll catch you again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea and peace.